Shadow of Terror, a true story. This is not a mere tale, nor is it a work of fiction or imagination. It is a chilling reality, one that cannot be denied. A horrifying truth that crept into the life of an innocent girl and never left her, even after her death. This is the story of a house that was once filled with laughter, joy, and love. But then, in a fateful moment, terror took over. A sinister presence made its home there, not only haunting a single life, but enveloping an entire family in its dark embrace. The incident at the fair. It all began when she was just 6 months old, pure, beautiful, and adored by everyone. Her uncle's daughters and other family members loved her dearly. One day, her cousins pleaded with her mother, "Today, there's a fair at our school. We want to take the little doll with us." Her mother initially refused. "She's too young. None of you are taking her anywhere." But they insisted. "All our friends want to see her. We'll bring her back soon, we promise." Eventually, the mother relented and allowed them to take her along. The school fair was a joyous affair. Bright lights twinkled, laughter echoed in the air, and children played merrily. But none of them sensed the ominous presence lurking nearby. At one point, the cousins placed the baby under an old tree. That was when it moved. The tree, ancient and towering, concealed a sinister secret within its twisted branches. It was home to a malevolent entity, an accursed witch who thrived on preying upon human souls. The moment her gaze fell upon the innocent child, she transformed into a swirling black mist and slithered toward the baby. Suddenly, the child let out a blood-curdling scream. Her cousins panicked, quickly picked her up, and ran home. But as soon as the mother took her child into her arms, she realized this was no longer the same baby who had left that morning. From childhood to adolescence, a strange journey. As she grew older, something was different about her. She often talked to herself, stared into the darkness for hours, and laughed as if conversing with an unseen presence. One night, while sleeping next to her mother, a strange rustling sound filled the room. Her mother turned to see her daughter's eyes wide open, but she wasn't looking at her. As soon as the mother touched her, the girl's eyes gleamed red, and in a chilling, almost otherworldly voice, she whispered, "Don't let me go. He is coming for me." Marriage, but the shadow remained. Years passed, and like every girl, she too was married. A new home, a new life, but the shadow followed her. After marriage, she had 3 children, yet she frequently fell ill. As time went on, her condition worsened. She began seeing strange things, horses, rabbits, and elephants emerging from the walls, only to disappear into another. Small, eerie figures darted around her home, tiny gnome-like creatures running through the rooms. Whenever guests visited, even their children sensed something was amiss. Frightened, they would tell their parents, "There is something in this house." Her husband tried medical treatments and whatever he could think of. Eventually, the relentless suffering drained her completely. She passed away. Yet no one truly understood what tormented her, what horrors she had endured. Even in death, the fear lingered. But her death was not the end. It was just the beginning of a new nightmare. Her children still live in that very house, yet they never feel alone, because she is still there. The housemaids who worked in the kitchen often stopped mid-task, their eyes widening in terror. There, in the dimly lit corner of the room, she stood, silent, watching them. One day, a trembling maid whispered, "Something is here. This house is cursed." Another, her voice shaking, added, "I saw her with my own eyes. The mistress, she was standing right there, staring at us, as if warning us." Terrified, the housemaids refused to work there anymore. One after another, they all left. They all said the same thing. "She is still here." Does this story ever end? This story leaves us with an unsettling question. Was she ever truly freed? Or does the shadow still linger? Even today, if one passes by that house at night, faint red eyes can be seen gleaming through the windows. Some claim they hear doors opening and closing on their own. Others have sworn to have heard distant, eerie laughter echoing through the dark corridors. This is not just a ghost story. It is a warning, a terrifying truth. Lesson to learn. This tale teaches us that the unseen should never be taken lightly. There are forces in this world beyond human comprehension, forces that can latch onto lives and never let go. We must always be cautious, always protect our loved ones, and never underestimate the unknown. Because sometimes, even in death, some presences refuse to leave,